Yes, we will. And this team's looking to go towards the edge here. We see Tooth winning. Brink? We're going to call him Brink. And Mace. Hey, guys, also, by the way, if I'm saying your name wrong, feel free to come over here and tell me. I don't want to do that, so please tell me if I'm saying your name wrong, and we will get it right. Nonetheless, these guys on the edge zone, looking to make the rotate, already have one elim apiece, so we're looking good so far.
Those elims are going to be nice. Help get those first game jitters out. I mean, going into a tournament, you've got to be a little bit nervous. Getting an elimination early is going to help with that. And XD, and they're in a great spot here. Moving on the backside of zone, less packed. But there are players here on the edge. They have to be mindful of it. Otherwise, they're going to get into a little bit of an engagement. You see here, Yuki, Coach, Pepper, got a lot of eliminations already, and they're looking for more shots on target, and they're going to get a knock on a Serial. Clean them up quickly, but players coming through, and it's like a third party as well.
Yeah, and this is that team that we're watching in the distance, making the rotate towards the edge of Storm. Now this engagement is going to be forced by the zone. Both teams right here on the edge, one trying to hold their position, the other one trying to make a move into that zone. And we see some tags coming through, nothing too significant. Expert needs to watch his back, though. There's a whole team at his back, and they do actually put some builds behind them and fire some shots.
Tags left and right, trying to hold this team, keep them from getting in zone, because Pepper actually does have the zone. They're not going to have to move very far, but the team on edge is actually going to have to move on top of that.
And then we see the shots continuing. They're just doing a great job. This is one of the keys to playing these end games, is you want to hold your position and then hold other teams out of this zone. I'm sure, Ben, you understand this whole concept, but can you break it down for us in a more simplistic manner?
Yeah, so basically, if you're going to get the zone, which you can see in the bottom right here, you've got arrows that are actually within this white circle. And if you are outside of that white circle, you only have X number of seconds, which you can see the timer counting down to get within that zone. Otherwise, the circle is going to start to close and force you to get within it. So if you're already in that circle, forcing these players and putting down pressure basically onto them that are outside of the zone, I mean, those are easy eliminations because they have to move no matter what, regardless of what you're doing to them. If you're going to hit a lot of damage, you're going to barely touch them. If you're going to get them very, very low, they still have to move, and no matter what, they're coming right to you.
Well said, well said. And mentioning the zone, we see we have 10 seconds till it starts moving. If you're wondering if zone is still or if it's moving, it's a clock. If it's still, it is a storm or a little cloud image down in that bottom right corner. That means the zone is moving. So if you guys are trying to figure out what we're looking at, there's just some little keys that we're trying to pay attention to. And we do see zone has started moving. So forcing the final few teams that aren't in to make that rotate. And there's some action. We're seeing that elim feed light up once again.
This is that key moment within any competitive lobbies. We're into the top 10, and those placement points are going to start to ramp up and become a lot more frequent, because these are where you want to make every game. If you can make top 10 and consistently get those points, you are bound to do well or pop off eventually. So just making it here, these players, congrats, guys. Now you just got to close the deal and try and get any sort of eliminations or maybe even that victory royale.
Now Jack looks like he's playing solo here. He has to do one of the more difficult things that I would think in this game is either pretend that he's a full trio or avoid being seen altogether. It is very difficult to do, and once a team realizes he's all by himself, they're going to look to try and get this elim. We do see Jack moving on out. Oh, he gets hit by the rock! Rocked him right there.
That might be the first boulder elimination I've seen this season, but maybe I spoke too soon, as we do see another elimination coming through onto Benji, and that's the full trio wipe, and that's Yuki picking up all 3 eliminations.
What a play there by Yuki. 6 elims. These guys are slaying out, putting it on for us, as we do see Pexper was able to get one of those as well. Now they have to make the rotate in the 5th zone as one team starts positioning themselves up there already in 5th zone. This is what we call 50-50 zone. Half of it starts in and half of it starts in the storm. Then as zone moves, the other piece that was in the zone starts to become the safe area and closes. And then we're really not playing with much space at all. And these engagements get forced quite quickly.
The zone's also very, very small. It's split in half already, only making half of it able to actually box up within, but majority of the lobby has to move. As you see, there's only one team that actually got that zone, and this is what happens. If you're not in that zone, you're going to get pressured on. As you see Nez putting on damage onto Kyle, trying to force them and get a little bit of a hold going, but this team's not going to let them get away with it. Trying to go for these eliminations. They're going to force this. Trying to get those elimination points early before the rest of the lobby has that chance to rotate in. Going for a wall, any kind of piece control, but the edit's going to come through.
That guy must have had 0 ping. Nesselson is still looking to get involved. He's taking some shots here and putting some damage on. Not anything too significant. Shay's still holding the high ground as Clue looks for some other angles. He does get one knock there. Gonna get the finish. Yuki gets another knock as well. So these are the two teams we're watching get the most elims at the moment. They're currently doing a really good job of putting teams in poor positions and taking advantage of all of those elims. But in a poor position now is Nesselson. He's full box with 2 players in his face.
Not going to be able to make it out, but his teammates are going to follow through, trying to save him, but it's not going to come of it, and that's going to be the end of their rampage. They racked up a lot of eliminations and some good placement points, but now they're at a numbers disadvantage. You see Duke and Kyle, both of them making it out, but only have a few eliminations to their name.
Yeah, playing as a duo is going to be tough. Only so many players left in the lobby. We're down to 9, and it's going to come down to these last few to make plays, and now we start to see the game where players start making tunnels. So that's just building completely within your builds, and that's to protect yourself from other players from shooting at you and from taking damage. We see Duke now putting builds in the way, trying to protect himself, and eventually just says, I gotta sprint, and as soon as he does, someone looks at him, and he starts taking damage, but now the storm is at his back, and he's gotta get moving.
This is it now. Again, being outside of zone and out of position, you're going to get focused as Duke is now trying to tarp a way for his teammates to get into zone, but he's going to be split from him and get knocked. Kyle, though, going to have to carry it out as a solo and clutch up as many points as possible, but he does have some mats to carry him through, but he's running out of metal. Being built up in wood is going to be a problem for him, especially if getting pressured from that high ground team.
Yeah, Kyle absolutely loves FN. Just in case you didn't know, we do see Yuki, Pexper, and Coach here. They're playing the high ground. This is the most advantageous position here in endgame. We see the pressure coming down. They have tons of ammo. They're just going to stay up above and continue to spray. Eventually, they're going to drop down to make a play to win the game if they're forced to. But nonetheless, Coach now looking to attach to these old builds as his teammate actually putting pressure on some other teams, getting layer to layer. Clue is right there fighting Yuki and Presper. Jimmy goes down. We see Yuki getting Ovio. Pexper takes down Kiwi, and this is just chaos.
Final moments now. Coach and his team is going to have to make something happen if they want to pick up the Victory Royale. Drops down to low ground to try and clean it up, but players can take the high ground. It's Shay, already on 6 eliminations, but he's not going to be able to do it. That's Yuki's trio picking up the Victory Royale in game number 1.
What a great game by them. They were able to pick up a ton of elims, grab that Victory Royale. I mean, Yuki had 12 himself. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Now, that was a great game 1. I'm super excited after seeing that. We only have more awesome action. You guys can hear the crowd behind us. I mean, that is amazing.
What more could you ask for from a game number 1, right? You get those jitters out of the way. You take those many fights as possible. It seemed like they got a ton of eliminations. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I know they're going to be up there on the leaderboard.
Yeah, we don't do math here. We'll have someone figure that out for us. Nonetheless, awesome game 1. We're going to quickly jump into game 2 as quick as possible. After game 1, what did you expect? And, is there anything you wanted to see?
Didn't quite see the Hog Rider trio. It's okay. We still got a long way to go. But as far as game number 1 goes, there's not much more I could have expected. That's everything I could have asked for from a game number 1. But we are going to go to a small break and show you guys a little bit of a replay package. But we will be right back.
So I got the email and I said, hey, check this out. They're doing an esports league.
They're going to get started on the aim test. I'm going to want the rest of you to come into the dojo with me.
He loves playing competitive computer games. When he plays online at home, a lot of times it's just playing with random people. In this, he's learned that having a coach who's able to take him through those strategies.
When did you lose? When did you lose? Why did you lose?
It's definitely been very competitive. It's amazing that they're starting to offer things like esports scholarships now. I mean, I won't complain about any scholarship he gets.
This is Amina. Today she will get hundreds of hearts, likes, and supportive emojis. Maybe even more, considering she has Hodgkin lymphoma. But patients like Amina living with blood cancer need more than hearts and clapping hands. They need our help. So please don't just give a heart. Give with your heart. Join us in making a real impact today at LLS.org.
I have this cool jersey, I have this cool armrest. They made really close new friends through gaming, and this was an opportunity for them to be part of a team.
Get the right ball,
You get to feel like we're actually in the big leagues.
Good game.
Good.
A couple of sets of grandparents have been following the team online. We all get in the chat room and give our high fives virtually, and so we're getting our own jerseys for the family. As soon as we saw the one that he got, we all wanted our very own.
That person right there, that's my son. They just wiped out the rest of the team.
Play by Noah, and somehow
We would get together and watch the Twitch stream like it was a professional event.
good game.
At Full Sail, our technology programs are designed with a different approach to learning. We let students get hands-on and start creating. They're learning to code and they're developing applications. They're exploring areas like cloud